it's bizarre because you pointed that out. I think I was reading that Dr. Hoffe, you're representing him as well. And Dr. Hoffe actually posted, it was a one-page kind of PDF that you had printed up from the Justice Center talking about the stats from the government webpage. And he, my understanding, you can walk me through this, but he got in trouble for that and has received, there's some legal battles on his horizon because of that. They've prevented him from, practicing in his one of his clinics, so the half of his income is now gone.
Yeah, Dr. Charles Hoffe in British Columbia, he noticed that compared to other vaccines, that with the COVID vaccines, there seemed to be a fairly high number of his patients who got the vaccine who, after receiving the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, right, the new one, after receiving it, they died. And a lot of his patients as well were harmed. They lost their capacity to exercise vigorously. One of his patients was an elderly man, 70 years old, used to be in fantastic health, could walk, 2 or 3 miles, and now he can't walk any more than 10 minutes without being completely out of breath. So he had concerns about the vaccine. And in his experience, when first raising the concerns with other doctors, he was kind of a neutral, kind of just looking at what was going on and started asking questions. He asked questions of other physicians and was told by the BC health authorities, you are not to ask these questions, you are not to discuss this. And so he was puzzled by that. That's not a very scientific approach, right? A scientific approach says, hey, well, let's observe what's going on, and let's have an open mind. Let's have a little bit of humility. Let's not assume that the vaccines are dangerous, deadly killers. Let's not assume that the vaccines are 100% wonderful, but let's just take an honest look at this. So there's a very authoritarian, anti-scientific mentality that he experienced and that so many other doctors have experienced. So he then wrote an open letter to Dr. Bonnie Henry, the Chief Medical Officer of British Columbia, and he expressed his concerns. And he is suffering the consequences of that and has been denied his hospital privileges so that he could only still see patients at his clinic, so he's lost half of his business. Then unfortunately, there was a fire in Lytton that burned down his clinic. So hopefully he's found another space and is seeing patients. But I can give you 3-4 other stories of doctors that we are representing who are